Hello, hi, my name is Jess Marie. Welcome to yesterday's Coffee Grounds. We are driving through Whistler, British Columbia right now. It might sound a little echoey, a little much like a tunnel, a spaceship. Prop your phone up, do your makeup, do the dishes, fold some laundry, whatever it is you're doing. Just kind of treat this like a podcast. Don't look at my face too much because, I don't know, just don't. Or do, I don't know. I just feel like I'm the kind of channel where I like to pop the video up and you do your thing, you know? That's how I listen to YouTube. I just like listening to people almost talk like commentary, podcast style. But yeah, so I've been driving for about 20 minutes just thinking and asking myself, what do I want from life and what do I have to offer to this life? And I ask myself these questions quite often because I think it's very important and it's very valuable to do that reflection and take some time to reflect. What am I doing to serve my spirit? What am I doing to serve my family? And what am I doing to serve my community? And if not many things come up right away, that is such a great starting point for change of, oh my goodness, I am very unbalanced. It's a triangle, those three things, it creates a triangle, and we can find balance through there. Just like body, mind, and spirit. You can find balance through those. And when we do this sitting and reflecting, we're able to say, okay, what is my quality of life right now? What is my emotional well-being? How is my input on this world reflecting? Is that reflecting my true self? Am I putting things into this world that are my true self? Or am I bitter? Am I angry? Am I resentful? Okay, how do I rid those emotions, those energies, to then fill them with peace and serenity and love and kindness and spread that into the world? It's a fucking practice, may I just add. It is a practice to be in a state of peace. You're not always going to be in this state of peace. Yes, there are some people who are. But on a daily basis, to be able to find little moments of joy of like, wow, I had a beautiful sandwich from a shop this morning with like homemade brioche bun and homemade pesto, fresh sliced ham, fresh sliced cheese, and a tomato. And it was just brilliant. And it's like this little moment of, wow, this is amazing. And stepping out into the mud and just that little squishy moment of, wow, it rained last night. We had a couple summers ago here where I live where we had what's called a heat wave at this time of year. It's June, and it dried up the land and it ruined many people's crops, and the harvest was very significantly damaged, and a lot of people suffered during extreme heats too early in the year. And now we're still recovering. It's been 4 years since that happened. We're still recovering from that. So to have such damp weather right now is tough, but it's amazing that the earth is recovering still 4 years later. So take that as a sign in your life that it is okay to take time to recover. It's okay to take time to say, I have been hurt, I have had things happen to me, but if you do not do the reflection and if you do not put in that work, you do not take that time to sink in what has happened and then move on and grow from that, you're not going to go anywhere. You're just going to, 5 years ago I was hurt in a relationship, and I'm just going to think everybody who I get into a relationship now is going to hurt me the way that person did. Yes, there is some kind of trauma. I'm not trying to minimize that, but I've seen it over and over and over with people where it's a self-sabotaging move. It's a self-sabotaging move where it's like, I am not worthy of a certain thing because something happened to me. Change your mindset. Do some reflection. Take some time to be in your mental headspace. Whatever you need to do, leave your fucking phone somewhere else, whether it's sitting in the morning sipping on your coffee. and just sitting with your thoughts. You can set a timer. If it helps, set a 10-minute timer so you're not like, oh, I've sat here long enough, or how long I've sat here. Practice with 5 minutes. Start with 5 minutes of uninterrupted, this is just my time. When the timer goes off, you can either choose to continue sitting or do whatever. Do not fall into this trap of turning the alarm off and then checking your news feeds, your social medias, because that disrupts all the work that you've just done. Driving is a great way to also do this. Walking is another great way to do that, of that reflection, of that, what am I putting into the world, and is it reflecting who I am? When I am working at my job, when I'm interacting with my family or my friends, when I go to a shop, is what I am putting out in the world a reflection of myself, or a reflection of things that are not me, but I am putting out as me? Because remember, we have this chain effect. I've worked customer service for a very long time, and it has been a learned practice of, just because one person was a dick and made me feel incompetent as a human being, that does not mean that is who I am. It just means that person was pushing their emotions onto me because they had an expectation, they had a perception of what they wanted, and put that onto me. That is not my responsibility. Sometimes our parents are disappointed in us because maybe they wanted us to do something, and it's like, you know what, that's not really for me, and you go a different way. You don't have to please them. You don't have to satisfy them. You have to. I do believe in a lot of ways we should respect our elders, whatever that may look like to you. My mom and I are very different in a lot of ways, and when it comes to money is a huge thing. I'll spend money on a hockey game right before rent. And for her, that is very disappointing. Do I regret that experience? Absolutely not. It was an absolute blast. It was awesome. It was amazing. It was so much fun. Spending $400 on a night for our family to go out with the tickets, the gas, the parking, and the food, right? Take all that and combine, it's probably about a $400 night. My dad and I now are at a point, so that's just an example where my mom and I are different. We have a lot of similarities, but that's just something she was disappointed in that she has this deep concern of, are you going to make rent? Are you going to be able to pay your rent? My dad is now he is very much, Jess, don't worry about pleasing me. Don't worry about if I'm going to approve of your decisions, because you've already done things that I don't approve of, but my approval or disapproval will not change the actions or the decisions that you make. And if you base your decisions on trying to satisfy me or anyone else, you are now turning into a people pleaser. You are now turning into very passive of allowing somebody else to be in control of choosing your choices over everybody else, or for everybody else. It's just a beautiful conversation I had with him. He's like, I want you to feel open to talk to me about stuff and say things that you want to do and what you want. And he's like, I'll tell you my opinion. My dad and I are very similar in opinions, where it's like, you got to preface if you're looking for advice or if you're looking to vent, because I am a problem solver by nature, and I am not judgmental, but I don't like people complaining about their shit all the time, but not doing anything or doing the same thing to keep them in that situation. to keep them in that situation. I get really bothered by that. And I've done it. I've been victim of it. And maybe that's why I'm so aggressive about it. If you don't like something in your life, change it. Change it. Take the time to reflect. What do I not like in my life? And change it. It's not as easy as changing it. It's, I'm lifting 50 pounds today. And by the end of the week, I'm lifting 52 pounds. You're lifting that extra 2 pounds, and it's like, well, that doesn't really make a difference. But it does. It does because of the compounding effect. I want to serve in my community more. Okay, how do I do that? Go for a walk and pick up garbage. Okay, you start picking up garbage and you start addressing other problems, or you start seeing things come up where it's like, I'm finding a lot of empties. Then you start collecting empties, cans. Then it's like, you know what? I think I'm gonna collect empties and do a can drive and put all this money and give it to the women's shelter in town, or give it to the SPCA, the animal shelter, or some kind of organization, whatever it may be, right? Something that aligns with your beliefs and what you believe in. Give back in that way. And then it's this whole thing where it's like, oh, I'm just picking up garbage in my neighborhood. You can address a bigger thing by starting small. Nothing just starts big, and if it is, it's like, yes, sure, sometimes. You see the famous photo of Jeff Bezos with that shitty little office space and his little desk and his handwritten Amazon sign? It starts somewhere. And if you don't take a time to be quiet, shut your brain off, shut your phone off, and push everybody away for a moment, be selfish for a moment. Take 10 minutes to reflect and just sit with your thoughts. Sit with your thoughts. How am I serving myself? How am I serving my family? And how am I serving my community? Start there. Start there. You can start many other places, but start there. Or what would make me happy? Oh, a new car. Okay. Would that make me happy? Yes, my car is breaking down all the time. I'm spending extra money on it. Okay. How much do I need for a new car? Okay. How many hours do I need to work based on what do I need to get a second job? Okay. Will it make me happy working 2 jobs to get a brand new vehicle? Well, you know what? I guess I'm going to grind for 6 months, get a new vehicle, drop one of my jobs, and just pay the insurance and whatever it may be. And I can afford that. That'll be fine. So, I don't know. I don't know if that was the best example. But take some time to be quiet and reflect is like my biggest takeaway, because I just did that with myself. And I'm going to share that with you. And if you made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. Not to tell you what to do, but I hope you have a wonderful day wherever you are in the world. My name is Jess Marie, and we will perhaps talk to you shortly. Bye!